Part 1. The Echo of Remembrance. In the hush of space, silence is loud. It hums and whispers, teases with echoes like memories stacked in a forgotten attic. It was in such a stillness that I found myself aboard the decrepit frigate, Oblivion, once a proud vessel, now a drifting relic. Commander Ethan Voss, had a knack for getting into situations most people would wisely avoid. This time I was dragged by curiosity and a touch of self-loathing. The mission was simple, or so we were led to believe by the bureaucrats nestled safely on Delta Station, light years from the action. Investigate a derelict megastructure known as the Pinnacle of Tranquility, a name I suspected was chosen by someone with a poorly refined sense of irony, and ascertain the source of its sudden reactivation signal. As the Oblivion closed the gap between us and the construct, its sheer size became apparent. It was like staring into the mouth of an ancient god. Its maw of glistening metal swallowed the stars behind it. My pilot, a sarcastic genius named Tessa, pulled us closer with the grace of a swan navigating a thunderstorm. "Remind me why we're doing this again. I heard the bar on Deltas upgraded their synthale," Tessa quipped, her fingers dancing over the console, never missing a beat. "Curiosity, my dear Tessa," I replied, as if the answer was a balm to all our worries. "And possibly enough credits to fund your expensive taste in beverages." Behind us in the crew compartment, Darwin, a hulking engineer with a philosophical streak, snorted. "Or fuel the purchase of a few replacement parts for this rust bucket." The frigate's systems clattered in agreement, and I patted the console in a gesture of goodwill. I'd grown fond of the Oblivion's quirks, much like one might become fond of an old boot that never quite fits but refuses to fall apart. But my mind was elsewhere, running laps around the enigma ahead. Docking with the Pinnacle was an exercise in patience and terror as we crept through its immense gates. The place loomed like a vast cathedral, long corridors stretching into darkness, dotted with the occasional flicker of lights that suggested an intermittent, faltering pulse. With a brief check of our gear, we stepped onto the cold deck, our footsteps echoing like the first sounds in a dormant world. It was then that I felt it, a frisson up my spine, as though the structure itself was watching us with mechanical eyes. The interior was a magnificent array of corridors and chambers, with walls that whispered the history of a civilization long gone. We moved cautiously, Tessa keeping her sidearm ready, her usual banter replaced by focused silence. Darwin scanned the walls with a handheld device, its screen awash in cryptic readouts. "Tell me something good, Darwin," I said, hoping for anything that might lift the weight pressing on my chest. "Good? Well, the air's stale but breathable and there are signs of a power source. Bad news is I can't pinpoint it," he replied, squinting at the monitor. "There's interference, like something's deliberately obfuscating our scans." That was the moment when everything changed. Lights flickered overhead, and the corridor seemed to sigh as a hum resonated through the structure like a distant storm. It was as if the Pinnacle awoke, stretching its ancient limbs after a millennia-long slumber. Then we heard it, a voice, hollow and distorted, echoing through the halls. It wasn't a language we knew, yet it resonated with a strange familiarity. And as quickly as it had started, the voice faded into silence. "Commander, I think we just triggered something," Tessa said, eyes wide and alert. "Welcome aboard, I guess," I replied, my voice more steady than I felt. We pressed forward, pulled by the promise of mystery and the urgent need to understand what we'd unleashed. We found ourselves standing before a chamber that defied logic, its dimensions shifted like an optical illusion. At its center hovered a set of crystalline structures, pulsating with an inner light. Beside them, a pedestal with ancient controls covered in a web of alien symbols. Darwin made his way to the pedestal with the reverence of a pilgrim before a sacred relic. His fingers brushed against the surface, and the symbols danced with a life of their own. The light intensified, bathing us in hues of sapphire and emerald. It was then the first twist revealed itself. The light coalesced into a form, a being unlike anything we'd encountered. Not humanoid, not even close, a lattice of shimmering energy with limbs that flickered in and out of visibility. It regarded us with an intensity that spoke of intelligence, perhaps curiosity. "Ah, we have visitors," the voice transmitted directly into my mind, and I felt a chill. Not just from the revelation, but from the hint of loneliness and hope interwoven into those words. The entity shifted, its form rippling like water meeting air. "I am the keeper of echoes, last of my kind, bound to the Pinnacle's memory." Tessa, in a rare moment of speechlessness, glanced at me, her eyes betraying equal parts astonishment and apprehension. Darwin, ever the pragmatist, was already formulating questions, his curiosity outweighing his caution. "Why now?" I asked, sensing the weight of ages in the keeper's presence. "Why reach out after so long?" The keeper's response was a tapestry of emotions, threading through words like ribbons in the wind. "The anomaly. It grows. It threatens to consume the echoes of all who came before. You, travelers from the stars, are the last hope to preserve the past." The situation was escalating faster than I could process. An anomaly, threatening not just us, but the very history of this enigmatic place. My instinct was to retreat, to take the knowledge back to those who could handle it. But there was something in the keeper's presence, an undeniable appeal to the better part of my nature. It was a choice, irreversible, as clear as the nebulae in the void. I weighed the lives of my crew, the responsibility of the unknown, and the promise of answers that could forever reshape our understanding of the universe. "All right, Keeper," I said, feeling the enormity of my decision echo in my words. "Show us the way, we'll help your echoes." With that, the Pinnacle's corridors began to shift, guiding us toward the heart of the enigma. And for the first time, I felt a kinship with this alien construct, a growing alliance against the shadows that threatened to devour us all. As we plunged deeper into the unknown, curiosity transformed into a determined resolve. The echoes of the past needed a voice, and for now, it seemed we were it. We had stepped into the mouth of the ancient god, and there was no turning back. Part 2. The Heart of the Anomaly. The corridors of the Pinnacle closed around us like the veins of a colossal, metallic beast, urging us ever deeper into its core. As we followed the Keeper's guidance, the walls shimmered with an eerie luminescence, patterns of light and shadow dancing in a language just out of reach. Around every corner I felt the weight of history, the breath of stories untold but yearning to break free. Our footsteps echoed in the hallowed emptiness, a surreal rhythm that left room for contemplation amid the unfolding mystery. Darwin, ever the pragmatist, had resumed his analysis, his scanner now a trusted ally against the unknown. "These readings are peculiar," he mused, frowning at the data streaming across the screen. "It's as if the fabric of space itself is fraying here. The energy signatures are off the scale." "Any chance we could just patch it up with some duct tape?" Tessa teased, her facade of light-heartedness a thin veil over genuine concern. "I'd venture it's a little beyond my toolbox," Darwin replied, chuckling despite himself. We reached a vast chamber, the walls soaring into darkness, the center dominated by a pool of liquid metal, a swirling vortex of silver and shadow. It was mesmerizing, a dance of chaos and symmetry. Above it, tendrils of energy arced upwards, connecting to a crystalline lattice that shimmered with every color imaginable, yet none we'd ever seen. The keeper materialized beside us, its form flickering like a candle in the wind. This is the anomaly's heart. Its presence is a wound in reality, a force that threatens to unravel all that the Pinnacle safeguards. How do we stop it? I asked, the question weighted with the urgency of the unknown. The keeper hesitated, a ripple of uncertainty passing through its form. There is a key, a device forged by the ancients, hidden within the Pinnacle, but its location has been lost to time, obscured by shadows. Tessa shook her head, her expression a blend of disbelief and grim acceptance. So we've got to find a needle in a cosmic haystack. The keeper's response was a dissonant melody of hope and despair. The echoes of those who built this place may guide you if you are willing to listen. An echo of a challenge as cryptic as the entity itself. Yet, in this paradoxical maze of metal and energy, where logic wavered and intuition held sway, it made a strange kind of sense. It was then that the unexpected struck. The chamber trembled, a deep rumble resonating through the floor, as if the Pinnacle was shaking off the cobwebs of eternity. The pool of liquid metal roiled, and from its depths emerged a figure, a creature of iridescent, shifting forms, a symphony of colors and textures that defied description. Not hostile, not friendly, it moved with a fluid grace, surveying us with eyes that held the reflection of stars long gone. Its voice was soft, a whisper of galaxies collapsing into themselves. You, the seekers, why disturb the silence of the deep? We're here to prevent the unraveling, I said, choosing my words as carefully as I would steps on a tightrope. To save the echoes. The creature's form rippled, its colors intensifying as if it was amused. To save echoes, or to save yourselves from the void's embrace. Before I could respond, the creature dissolved into the pool, leaving us with more questions than answers. The chamber stilled, the silence returning like a familiar companion. Did that really just happen? Darvin's voice broke the spell, anchoring us back to reality. Unless we all shared a very vivid hallucination, Tessa replied, a tremor of disbelief underlining her words. The keeper's presence remained, a constant amidst the shifting variables. The guardian of forms, it explained, an entity as ancient as the anomaly itself. It is both protector and prisoner, bound to its fate as you are to yours. With no time to lose, we plotted our course, a journey deeper into the Pinnacle's labyrinth, guided by instincts and echoes that seemed to whisper a path forward. Each step felt as if it might be the last, a waltz with the unseen that required faith more than foresight. The corridors grew more convoluted, defying conventional logic. My mind spun with possibilities, theories unraveling as new revelations took their place. I couldn't help but chuckle at the absurdity. Here we were, three wanderers, navigating the whims of an ancient civilization, each twist a new riddle to solve. Darwin, ever the philosopher, spoke up as we approached what appeared to be a hall of mirrors, where light bent and refracted with every motion. You know, this might be an ideal setting for a book club if only we'd brought a few novels along. Tessa rolled her eyes with affection. Next time, Darwin, next time. Every twist of the Pinnacle's halls broadened the scope of our endeavor, each chamber revealing more of the enigma we'd barely begun to scratch. And then we found it, a mirror. Al carved into the wall, depicting a grand tableau of cosmic events, the anomaly at its center. The keeper's voice reverberated with purpose. This mural is a map of echoes, a guide to the key's resting place. As we studied the intricate carvings, an understanding began to coalesce, like a constellation taking shape in the night sky. The mural was a history, a prophecy, a puzzle, and our path was illuminated by the faint hope it offered. Our journey was only beginning, the stakes rising with every revelation, the mysteries deepening with every step. And though the shadows loomed large, I felt the pull of destiny, a call to action that refused to be ignored. This was more than a mission. It was a voyage into the heart of the cosmos, guided by whispers of the past and the unyielding spirit of discovery. We were not just fighting to preserve the echoes, but to carve our own into the tapestry of time. Part 3: Shadows of the Past. We stood before the mural, the weight of its legend pressing down on us like the gravity of a supermassive star. Each etched symbol told tales of time itself, and it felt as if those who had carved them were reaching across the void to guide our hands. For a moment, none of us spoke. Silence was often louder than words in the depths of space. It was Darwin who broke the reverie, his voice carrying a note of awe. This mural, it's more than a guide. It's like a library, each image a book without pages. Tessa traced her fingers along the grooves, her eyes scanning for meaning among the chaos. And here I thought our GPS was confusing. I chuckled, grateful for the momentary levity, even as my mind raced to decipher the puzzle laid bare before us. Each section of the mural seemed to represent a different era, a different chapter in the saga of this enigmatic megastructure. In the midst of the cosmic chronicle, a particular set of symbols caught my attention, an intricate weave of stars and lines that seemed familiar, though I couldn't quite place where I'd seen them before. It was a conundrum, a mental itch demanding to be scratched. The keeper materialized beside us, its form shimmering as if to remind us of its presence. "You seek the key," it said, a tone of urgency threading through its ancient voice. "The path lies in understanding the echoes. The key is not merely an object, but a catalyst." "And where do we find this catalyst?" I asked, willing to follow its cryptic guidance if it meant unraveling the mystery before us. The keeper gestured toward a section of the mural, its form cascading into a kaleidoscope of colors. "Here, where the stars align in the pattern of creation. There, the echoes converge, and the key awaits those who see beyond the surface." I felt the pull of revelation, the pieces of the puzzle beginning to fit together in my mind. The alignment was a map, a guide through the corridors of the Pinnacle, leading us to a place beyond our current understanding. Without wasting another second, we ventured deeper, guided by the mural and the whispers of the keeper. The path wound through labyrinthine passages where shadows danced like living creatures, each turn a new challenge, each step a test of our resolve. Our journey led us to a vast hall, its ceiling lost in darkness, where fragments of ancient technology lay scattered like the debris of forgotten dreams. In the center stood a monolithic structure, a gateway, perhaps, or a monument to those who had come before us. It pulsed with an energy that resonated through my very bones. "Looks like we found something," Tessa said, her voice a blend of curiosity and caution. Darwin approached the structure, his ever-present scanner whirring with activity. "This isn't just some art installation. It's a repository, a databank for the energies that sustain the Pinnacle." As if on cue, the structure responded to our presence, sequenced lights running along its surface, awaking from a slumber that had lasted eons. The energy coalesced, forming a projection, a map of the universe as it once was, showing stars and galaxies in positions that no longer existed. "These are the echoes," the keeper said, its voice vibrating with an almost reverent tone. "The memories of the cosmos preserved here, awaiting those who would listen." It was then that the second twist emerged as the map began to distort, sections shifting, revealing connections we could never have imagined. At its heart was the anomaly, a nexus where realities converged and diverged. The anomaly isn't just a threat, I realized aloud. It's a conduit, a focal point for all these echoes, and the key isn't about stopping it entirely but stabilizing it. Darwin nodded, the pieces falling into place. The catalyst must synchronize with the anomaly's energy. It's a delicate balance, like catching lightning in a bottle. Tessa crossed her arms, a dry smile playing on her lips. So, essentially, we've got to tickle a dragon and convince it not to incinerate us. The keeper's form shifted once more, its colors softer, though no less intense. You understand the challenge, but beware, the anomaly's guardians will not welcome your intrusion. No sooner had the warning settled that the chamber trembled, a low rumble that heralded the arrival of something formidable. From the shadows emerged beings of pure energy, their forms reminiscent of the creature we'd encountered at the anomaly's heart, yet different, more defined, with a purpose that radiated from their very essence. These were the anomaly's guardians, protectors of the cosmic balance we threatened to disturb. A standoff ensued, each side measuring the other with eyes that sought truth. I raised my hands in a gesture of peace, my voice steady despite the surge of adrenaline. We're not here to destroy, only to understand and preserve. The largest guardian stepped forward, its form a sim. Phony of light and power. Preservation comes at a cost, as does understanding. The echoes demand a choice. I could feel the weight of that choice pressing upon me, a decision that would alter the course of not just our mission, but possibly the universe itself. It was a responsibility I couldn't take lightly, yet one I couldn't shy away from. Within that moment, as the echoes of the past mingled with the uncertainty of the future, I made my decision. It was time to step into the heart of the anomaly and face the shadows of the past, armed with nothing but resolve and the fragile hope of a better tomorrow. With a nod to my crew and a silent promise to the keeper, we advanced toward the gateway, ready to confront the anomaly and weave our own echo into the tapestry of time. The journey was far from over and the greatest challenges still lay ahead. Yet, as we took that first step, I couldn't shake the feeling that the universe was watching, waiting to see if we could truly make a difference. Part 4. Through the Veil. The gateway hummed with an anticipation that was almost palpable, a low thrum resonating through the metal beneath our feet as if the pinnacle itself was holding its breath. Beyond it lay the anomaly, an entity as enigmatic as the void and as perilous as a black hole. With a shared glance among us, we stepped forward, crossing the threshold into the unknown. The air seemed to shimmer, vibrant with energies beyond our comprehension. I felt the universe shift around me, like stepping from one page of a book onto another, where the plot could twist into anything. The realm beyond the gateway was both awe-inspiring and disorienting. We found ourselves in a vast expanse, a kaleidoscope of colors and forms that defied any spatial or temporal logic. Here, inside the anomaly, reality was pliable, a surreal canvas painted by an artist with a penchant for paradox. Hovering amidst this cosmic maelstrom were remnants of worlds, fragments of dimensions intertwined and interspersed like threads in a tapestry. The very air crackled with potential, each spark a story yet to be told. Tessa's voice cut through the wonder, laced with a touch of dry humor. Well, this is a decorator's nightmare. Let's hope we don't end up as abstract art. Darwin, ever the analyst, was already engrossed in the readings his device provided. This place, it's like a crossroad of possibilities. Every choice, every event that could have been exists here, overlapping like echoes. The keeper appeared beside us, a beacon of stability in the swirling chaos. You stand within the heart of the anomaly where the echoes converge. The key you seek must harmonize with this confluence. I nodded, understanding the enormity of the task. With the anomaly as a conduit, the echoes of past, present, and future were entangled in a delicate balance. Our mission was to ensure that balance was maintained, lest reality itself unravel. As we navigated the flux, the anomaly's guardians watched us with eyes that held galaxies, their presence a constant reminder of the stakes. We moved with purpose, guided by the Keeper's wisdom and our own intuition, until we reached a central nexus, a sphere of radiant energy suspended in the void. It pulsed with a rhythm that synchronized with my heartbeat, a resonance that spoke of unity, of connection. This was it, the heart of the anomaly, where the catalyst would either stabilize or shatter the echoes. But there was a complication, a twist of fate that caught us unprepared. The moment we approached the sphere, a tremor ran through the anomaly, a discordant note in the symphony of echoes. From the shadows emerged a presence both familiar and alien, the guardian of forms, now an avatar of the anomaly itself. "You seek to change what must remain eternal," it said, its voice like the rustle of leaves in a cosmic wind. I met its gaze, seeing within it the complexity of the universe, the tension between chaos and order. "We seek balance," I replied, my words firm with conviction, "to preserve the echoes so they can continue to tell their tales." The Guardian's form flickered, its colors shifting like a stormy sea. Balance comes at a price, and the anomaly demands a choice, a sacrifice to mend the fractures. The weight of that choice settled upon me like the pressure of 1,000 atmospheres. It was an irreversible decision that required not just intellect, but something deeper, an understanding that transcended logic. I turned to my crew, the bond between us stronger than any metal, forged in the fires of shared experiences. Darwin and Tessa nodded, their trust in me unwavering even in the face of the unknown. "I don't think it wants a limb," Tessa quipped, masking her apprehension with humor, "but I'm not volunteering to find out." Darwin's eyes met mine, a somber understanding passing between us. "Whatever you decide, we're with you, Ethan. Let's ensure this doesn't become our echo." The Guardian waited, its presence an unmoving sentinel of eternity. The Keeper, meanwhile, watched with eyes that held an infinite patience, a reminder that time was an elastic thread, stretchable yet fragile. In that moment, amidst the ever-shifting tides of the anomaly, inspiration struck. The key wasn't a physical object, it was a choice, the willingness to let go of something precious to stabilize the whole. I took a deep breath, feeling the echoes of countless lives, countless possibilities flowing through me. The decision was made, a choice to allow the anomaly to absorb part of our journey, our story, into its matrix, thus binding us to this place as its stewards, its guardians. As the sphere acknowledged the offering, the anomaly shuddered, the chaos transitioning into a harmonious dance of light and shadow. The guardians relaxed, their forms dissolving into the ether as the tension dissipated like mist in the morning sun. The Keeper's voice resonated with a gentle finality. "The Balank. Is restored, and your echo will forever enrich the anomaly." We stood silent, enveloped by the calm, a sense of fulfillment washing over us. The universe had shifted, not in its physical state, but in the stories it held, the connections it fostered. With our mission complete, we retraced our steps through the Pinnacle, feeling its approval in the gentle vibrations beneath our feet. The echoes were safe, and with them the legacy of those who had come before, preserved in a tapestry of time that now included our own thread. As we boarded the Oblivion and set a course for new horizons, I couldn't help but smile at the thought that we had become part of something greater, a narrative that would continue to unfold long after we were gone. The echoes of our journey would resonate across the cosmos, a testament to the choices we made and the unity we found within the heart of the anomaly. Part 5. Ripples in the Void. The Oblivion drifted away from the Pinnacle of Tranquility, leaving behind the echoes we had come to understand and protect. But our journey was far from over. I could feel the weight of our decision flowing through me, a sense of connection that stretched beyond the confines of time and space. We had become a part of the anomaly's intricate tapestry, and with it, the universe had changed. Tessa piloted us through the star-speckled void, her hands moving with practiced grace over the controls. The hum of the engines was a comforting lullaby, a reminder that despite the vastness of space, we had a home in the Oblivion. Darwin remained engrossed in his data, his mind a labyrinth of calculations and hypotheses. The energy readings from the anomaly, they're stabilizing, but there are fluctuations in the fabric of space-time along our trajectory. We might have stirred up more ripples than we anticipated. Like dropping a stone in a pond, Tessa said, glancing over her shoulder. We just have to hope the waves don't tip our boat. I nodded, pondering the implications. The echoes we had encountered, the layers of reality merging and diverging, had left marks on the cosmos. It was only natural that adjustments would follow, seeking equilibrium in the aftermath of our intervention. As we traversed the void, the ship's sensors chimed softly, an anomaly of another kind, not unlike the one we had just left but distinct in its own signature. A signal, faint yet persistent, emanating from the fringes of known space. Looks like we're not quite done with mysteries, I said, trying to sound optimistic. What's the source, Darwin? He tapped a few keys, the screen before him displaying a map of the area. It's coming from a derelict station. Records suggest it's the Ardent Dawn, a research hub lost decades ago, mysteriously disappeared without a trace. Tessa's eyes sparkled with mischief. And here I thought we were heading back for some RR, but I guess unraveling ancient space puzzles beats sipping synthale in a dive bar. With the course adjusted, we veered toward the coordinates, curiosity stoking the embers of our adventurous spirits. The journey was smooth, a lull before the storm, and I took the time to reflect on the unexpected turns our mission had taken. In the distance, the Ardent Dawn came into view, a skeletal silhouette against the backdrop of a swirling nebula. Its once-proud structure was now a ghostly monument to forsaken knowledge, its hull battered by time and neglect. As we approached, the station loomed larger, its surface dotted with breaches and the scars of forgotten conflicts. A docking bay presented itself, gaping open like the maw of a long-slumbering beast. I felt a sense of déjà vu, the echoes of our time at the Pinnacle resonating with the secrets this station might hold. With a deft touch, Tessa guided us into the bay, the Oblivion settling into place with a gentle hiss of decompressing air. The station's life support systems flickered to life, a stuttering gasp as ancient machinery awoke from its slumber. "Welcome to the Ardent Dawn," Darwin quipped, strapping on his gear. "Where the past is a puzzle box and every corner holds the potential for jump scares." "Let's keep on our toes," I said, leading the way as we stepped onto the station's silent deck. The air was stale, tinged with the scent of metal and dust, a testament to decades of abandonment. The corridors were eerily reminiscent of the Pinnacle, but here, the walls seemed to lean inconspiratorially, as if eager to share their forgotten tales. Our footsteps echoed, a rhythmic reminder of our presence in this hollow monument to lost ambition. We moved cautiously, guided by the faint signal that had drawn us here. The station's interior was a labyrinth of darkened passages and data terminals that flickered with ghostly light. It felt as if the Ardent Dawn wanted us to find something, to unlock the secrets that had eluded its creators. At the heart of the station, we discovered a control room, a hub of screens and consoles that hummed with latent energy. The signal was strongest here, a beacon of enigmatic intent. Darwin got to work, his fingers flying over the controls. Looks like the station's AI is still partially functional. It's been looping a distress call for years, but there's something else. A memory cache, heavily encrypted. Tessa leaned in, her eyes alight with fascination. Another puzzle, then. Seems we're better suited for cryptography than combat these days. As Darwin delved into the station's systems, the past began to unfurl before us. The screens flickered to life, revealing logs of research and experiments, a tale of scientists reaching for the stars, only to be consumed by their ambition. Then we saw it, a recording, grainy yet discernible, of a scientist with weary eyes and a voice heavy with regret. To whoever finds this, we've made a discovery, one that challenges everything we know, but we've lost control. The anomaly, it's more than a phenomenon, it's a doorway. The screen cut to static, but not before the final words left a chill running down my spine. The anomaly we had encountered was not an isolated instance. It was a gateway, a threshold between realities that the ardent dawn had sought to harness, with catastrophic results. The realization hit me with the force of a supernova. Our journey had not merely been about preserving echoes, but about understanding the universe's true nature, a complex web of realities interwoven yet fragile. As we absorbed the gravity of the discoveries, the station shuddered, systems struggling to maintain cohesion as new readings spiked across Darwin's screens. The anomalies weren't just limited to the Pinnacle. They were proliferating, spreading ripples through the vast tapestry of space. Our mission had expanded, the stakes rising with every heartbeat. We were tasked not just with safeguarding echoes, but with confronting the potential collapse of the boundaries that held our universe together. The universe had given us a glimpse of its vast orchestration, and now it demanded our participation in the symphony. The challenge was immense, yet within it lay the promise of new dawns and the hope of understanding our place among the stars. With renewed determination, we prepared to leave the ardent dawn, knowing that our journey was far from over. The echoes of our actions would ripple across the cosmos, shaping the future as we ventured into uncharted realms, bound by the promise of discovery and the whisper of the stars. And so, we set our course for the next horizon, daring to tread upon the paths of mystery and eternity, where the echoes of the past mingled with the possibilities of the future. Part 6. The Fractured Horizon. With the Oblivion recharged and the ardent dawn's secrets secured in our databanks, we left the station to drift once more in the eternal night. Our discoveries weighed heavily on us, a burden of knowledge that shifted the balance of our journey from exploration to urgency. The vastness of space stretched before us, a tapestry of stars smeared across the void like the fingers of a cosmic artist. Amidst that celestial canvas, anomalies were beginning to flicker into existence, pockets of instability that shimmered like refracted light. I stood on the bridge, watching the universe through the viewports, and felt the enormity of our task settle in my bones. We had uncovered a truth that hinged on cosmic threads, each one a potential unraveling of reality as we knew it. Tessa's voice came through the calm, a welcome tether to the tangible. "Commander, I've plotted a course to the next anomaly. It's cropping up near the ruins of the Celestial Spire. If there's anything that place knows, it's how to keep secrets." Darwin, studying the readings, nodded. The spire is a conduit, much like the Pinnacle. If these anomalies are indeed gateways, the spire might hold the answers to stabilizing them. With a steady hand, I set the course, feeling the hum of the engines as we propelled forward into the unknown. The journey to the celestial spire was a pulse-pounding interlude, punctuated by brief respites where the crew and I shared quiet moments, reflections on the paths we'd chosen, the echoes we'd become entwined with. Our arrival at the spire was heralded by a sight that stole my breath. It was a colossal construct of spiraling towers and conduits, shimmering like a pillar of light piercing the darkness. Its architecture defied gravity, each section turning in slow, graceful arcs as if performing a cosmic ballet. We docked at an entry point, the Oblivion dwarfed by the spire's grandeur. As I stepped off the ship, the air felt charged, alive with the whisper of countless histories. The walls thrummed with energy, resonating with the songs of stars and the whispers of ancient civilizations. Navigating the spire's corridors was an exercise in awe and wonder. Each chamber we passed through was a testament to the unfathomable minds that had built this place. We moved as if in a dream, trailing the faint signal of the anomaly that was our guide. The center of the spire opened up into a vast antechamber, its floor engraved with runes that glowed with an inner light. At the center, a pedestal rose from the ground, cradling a sphere of pulsating energy, another key, another fragment of the universe's riddle. As we approached, the sphere reacted to our presence, casting patterns of light that danced across the walls. It was as if the spire recognized us, the echoes of our past deeds resonating within its ancient heart. Darwin began analyzing the sphere, his scanner working overtime. These readings, they're unlike anything I've seen. The spire is synchronizing the anomalies, a nexus of converging realities, but it's unstable like a symphony on the verge of dissonance. Tessa circled the pedestal, her gaze sharp. So what do we do? Can we, I don't know, ask it nicely to stabilize? I considered her words, my mind churning through possibilities. The spire, much like the pinnacle and the anomaly, was a living entity in its own right, a guardian of balance. If we could communicate with it, find a way to harmonize its discordant notes, we might avert the growing crisis. The realization brought with it a complication. Communicating with the spire would require more than technology. It demanded a connection, an alignment of intent and purpose. It was an act of trust, a leap of faith into the unknown. Darwin's voice, ever the pragmatist, broke my reverie. The spire responds to thought, to will. If we can project our intentions, make it understand our purpose, it might stabilize the anomalies. I took a deep breath, centering myself in the midst of cosmic chaos. The sphere pulsed with a rhythm that mirrored my heartbeat, its energy enveloping us in a cocoon of light and sound. I reached out, not with my hands, but with my mind, focusing on the echoes of our journey, the unity we had forged through trials and triumphs. Tessa and Darwin followed suit, their thoughts merging with mine in a tapestry of resolve and determination. Together, we formed a conduit, a bridge between the spire's ancient consciousness and our own hopes for restoration. The sphere responded, its light intensifying as the spire began to sing. The song was a melody of creation, a symphony that wove through time and space, binding the anomalies into a cohesive whole. The discordant notes began to fade, replaced by a harmony that resonated through the spire, the pinnacle, and beyond. As the music of the spire faded into silence, the sphere settled into a gentle glow, a testament to the balance we had restored. The anomaly at the center of the spire had been stabilized, its gateway sealed, its energies aligned with the natural order. We stood in the antechamber, feeling the weight of our success and the magnitude of our journey. The echoes of our actions reverberated through the cosmos, a promise of continued vigilance and exploration. The stars awaited, and with them the mysteries yet to be unveiled. As we prepared to depart the celestial spire, I felt a renewed sense of purpose, a determination to honor the echoes we had encountered and to forge our own path among the stars. The universe was a vast, wondrous expanse, and we were its stewards, bound by the silence and symphony of eternity. Part 7. Beneath the Quantum Veil. The celestial spire receded into the tapestry of stars, its majestic silhouette becoming a distant memory as the Oblivion charted its new course. The universe's orchestration had shifted subtly under our hands, and though the anomalies had stabilized, the ripples of our journey expanded, hinting at more secrets yet to be discovered. I stood on the bridge, the silence of space stretching vast and infinite before me. It was a comforting silence, filled with possibilities as endless as the stars themselves. Tessa, back at the helm, hummed a soft tune, a melody that intertwined with the rhythmic hum of our engines. "Where to next, Commander?" she asked, her voice laced with the anticipation of new adventures. Before I could respond, the ship's sensors pinged with a new alert, the comm screen flickering to life with an incoming transmission. The signal, rich with static and distortion, was unlike anything we'd encountered. It was interspersed with fragments of language, a blend of tones and frequencies that seemed to dance at the edge of comprehension. Darwin joined us, his eyes wide with curiosity as he scrutinized the data. "This signal, it's not just a transmission, it's a map encoded within the noise. Whoever sent it wants us to find something." "Or someone," Tessa added, ever the skeptic. "Might be a trap, or it could be another one of those cosmic invitations we keep stumbling upon." I leaned closer to the console, letting my intuition thread through the complexities of the signal. It was a siren call, a pull that tugged at the very fabric of my being. The map within the transmission revealed a destination far off our current path, towards a region known for its unpredictable gravitational waves and quantum anomalies. "Looks like we're heading into the quantum veil," I said, feeling the thrill of the unknown spark within me. "Whatever sent this signal, it's tucked away in a corner of the universe where reality gets a bit slippery." With a course plotted, the Oblivion surged forward, embracing the challenge with a grace born from countless voyages into the uncharted. Our destination lay beyond the confines of ordinary navigation, a realm where physics danced to its own tune, and every step required more flair than finesse. As we neared the quantum veil, the ship's instruments went haywire, their readings fluctuating wildly as if trying to capture the essence of a dream. The stars outside the viewport seemed to blur and stretch, their light cascading in fascinating patterns that defied logic. Tessa's grip on the controls tightened, her focus absolute. "This is like threading a needle with a hurricane. Just keep us steady, old girl," she muttered, coaxing the Oblivion through the turbulent space-time eddies. The deeper we ventured, the more the veil revealed its mysteries. We encountered pockets of warped reality, spaces where shadows moved without light and where echoes of our voices arrived before we spoke. It was as though we were sailing through a symphony of time itself, with every note a new challenge, a new wonder. Darwin, ever the scientist, was in his element, his excitement palpable as he gathered data. "The quantum fluctuations here are off the charts. It's like this place is a crucible of potential where every possibility exists simultaneously." We arrived at the coordinates, the heart of the quantum veil, a nexus unlike anything we had seen. Hovering amidst the swirling energies was an ancient structure, its design a blend of alien aesthetics and technological genius. It pulsed with a soft luminescence, casting gentle waves of light that seemed to calm the chaotic surroundings. As we maneuvered closer, the ship shuddered, its systems struggling to adapt to the fluctuating reality. We docked with care, feeling the embrace of the quantum realm settle around us like a heavy cloak. We stepped onto the structure, greeted by an atmosphere that defied easy description. It was a realm of shifting geometries, where walls moved like liquid and the air thrummed with latent energy. The corridors were filled with a soft glow, inviting us deeper into its embrace. The signal that had drawn us here resonated with greater clarity, guiding us like a beacon through the labyrinthine chambers. As we navigated the maze, I felt a growing sense of anticipation, an awareness that we were on the brink of a discovery that could alter our understanding of the universe. We reached a central chamber, vast and open, the floor inscribed with glyphs that radiated warmth. At its center floated a crystalline orb, its surface rippling with images of galaxies and stars, a living map of the cosmos. Darwin approached with reverence, his expression one of awe. This is a repository of knowledge, a compendium of the universe's secrets. Tessa circled the orb, her eyes alight with wonder. Looks like we hit the cosmic jackpot. What do you suppose they want us to do with it? I took a step forward, feeling the orb's energy wash over me in waves. It was a doorway, not just to understanding, but to a deeper communion with the universe. The knowledge contained within was boundless, yet it required a choice acceptance in exchange for responsibility. As I reached out to the orb, the chamber resonated with a symphony of light and sound, the glyphs shifting underfoot in recognition of our presence. It was as though the structure itself was alive, a guardian waiting for the right moment, the right travelers. This was our moment, our opportunity to weave our thread into the tapestry of existence. With a deep breath and a heart full of wonder, we accepted the gift, feeling the cosmos unfold within us, revealing truths and possibilities that stretched to infinity. As the knowledge settled and the orb's light dimmed to a gentle glow, we knew that our journey had taken another turn, one that would lead us to even greater mysteries, bound by the quantum veil and the echoes it kept. Together we returned to the Oblivion, our mission transformed. We were no longer mere explorers, we were custodians of the universe's secrets, tasked with unraveling the quantum threads that bound us all. And as the stars stretched before us, I felt the pull of new adventures, infinite and irresistible. Part 8: The Guardians of Eternity. The Oblivion sailed away from the heart of the quantum veil, carrying within its hull the weight of cosmic secrets and the echoes of the universe's song. The crystalline orb's knowledge lingered in our minds, a kaleidoscope of potential that begged to be understood and wielded wisely. The stars shimmered outside the viewport, casting ethereal reflections on the bridge where Tessa, Darwin, and I absorbed the enormity of what lay ahead. The universe had trusted us with its hidden truths, and in doing so had placed upon us a mantle of responsibility heavier than any we'd borne before. Tessa broke the contemplative silence, her usual quirk laced with sincerity. "So, we're basically the universe's librarians now. I hope this doesn't involve late fees." Darwin, ever the analyst, nodded gently, his eyes still alight with the mysteries we were to guard. This knowledge, it's like holding the instruction manual for reality itself. We have to be careful. Every decision, every action, they can ripple through the cosmos. Our course was set for a sector known for its enigmatic energy signatures, a place that the orb had indicated as crucial to maintaining the balance of the anomalies. It was a system where time itself seemed to flow unevenly, creating a patchwork of past and future. As we approached, the anomaly became visible on our scopes, a swirling maelstrom of light and shadow, its core pulsating with erratic brilliance. The system's central star bathed the surrounding planets in an otherworldly glow, illuminating landscapes long forgotten by the annals of history. Our destination was a planet at the system's edge, a place where the anomalies gathered like moths to a flame. Its surface was a breathtaking expanse of shimmering plains and towering crystalline spires that caught the light like prisms. Landing on this alien world was both an honor and a challenge. The air was thin, tinged with a sweet, metallic tang that spoke of ancient energies. We stepped onto the surface, our senses heightened by the surreal beauty that surrounded us. The moment our boots touched the ground, a ripple passed through the landscape, as if the planet itself acknowledged our arrival. The spires resonated with a haunting melody, a welcoming chorus that echoed through the vast emptiness. Guided by the knowledge we had absorbed, we knew our task was to stabilize the anomalous energies converging here. Each step brought us closer to the epicenter, where the world's heartbeat thrummed in sync with our own. The core awaited us, a nexus of radiant energy swirling like a miniature galaxy. It was a visual symphony, a dance of light and motion that held the universe's secrets within its embrace. It was here that the anomalies converged, and it was here that we needed to act. As we approached, the ground beneath us shifted, and figures materialized from the light, moving with a fluid grace that suggested they were less corporeal and more ethereal. They were the guardians of eternity, beings of pure energy intertwined with the planet's essence, their forms shimmering with an iridescent glow. Their leader, a being of striking luminosity, addressed us with a voice that resonated within our minds. "Travelers of the stars, you come bearing the light of knowledge. Do you seek to preserve harmony or to claim dominion?" I stepped forward, feeling the weight of the universe's gaze upon me. "We seek balance," I replied, my voice steady with conviction. "We seek to understand and safeguard the echoes of existence." The guardians observed us with eyes that held the reflection of countless centuries. Their presence was both a challenge and a comfort, an indication that our journey had led us to a place of convergence, where past and future intersected in the present. "Then let us share in the communion of light," the leader intoned, gesturing toward the core. We followed, our beings resonating with the guardians' energy, feeling the planet's pulse grow stronger with every step. As we joined them in the circle of light, a connection sparked, a link between our intentions and the cosmic narrative unfolding around us. Together, we directed the knowledge of the orb into the core, aligning the energies in a harmonious dance that rippled outward, touching each anomaly with a gentle caress. The chaotic maelstrom began to settle, its beauty undiminished but its potential for disruption now tamed. The guardians watched, their forms shimmering with the light of renewed balance. "You have honored your purpose," their leader spoke, a tone of gratitude weaving through the words. "The echoes of your journey will guide others, a testament to the unity you forged." As the core's brilliance faded to a gentle glow, the guardians nodded, their forms dispersing into the ether. The landscape calmed, the crystalline spires now silent sentinels of a world at peace. With our task complete, we returned to the Oblivion, feeling the universe's embrace more keenly than ever. The stars called us onward, their light a promise of new promises, new mysteries to uncover. The journey continued, the echoes of our adventure resonating across the cosmos. We were bound to the stars, custodians of knowledge, caretakers of the universe's secrets. And as we charted our course for the next horizon, I knew that whatever lay ahead, we would face it together, united in purpose and spirit. The universe was vast, and so too were its wonders, and we, its humble explorers, were ready to meet them. Part 9. The Celestial Mosaic. The universe, ever expanding and infinite, had woven us into its fabric as we ventured onward, leaving behind the planet where the guardians of eternity had ushered us into a new chapter of understanding. The Oblivion sailed through the starlit tapestry, each pinprick of light a beacon of potential. Our course was set for an uncharted sector where the crystalline orb's wisdom hinted at a celestial mosaic, an alignment of celestial bodies that, when synchronized, would reveal insights into the cosmic dance of creation and destruction. It was a phenomenon that occurred once in eons, a rare opportunity to glimpse the universe's heartbeat. The journey was serene, filled with quiet contemplation and sporadic bursts of camaraderie. Tessa, with her characteristic flair, regaled us with tales of her childhood spent dreaming of the stars, while Darwin immersed himself in deciphering the orb's complex symbology. We arrived at the designated coordinates just as the cosmic ballet was reaching its crescendo. Before us unfolded a vista of unparalleled grandeur, a series of celestial orbs, each linked by tendrils of shimmering light, forming a vast mosaic across the heavens. It was like stepping into a painter's masterpiece, each stroke a nebula, each shadow a promise of mystery. The Oblivion held its position, a silent observer of this majestic spectacle. The celestial mosaic shimmered, its light weaving patterns that defied conventional understanding, hinting at secrets buried deep within the cosmos' core. Darwin, his eyes reflecting the cosmic dance, spoke with a hushed reverence. This mosaic, it's not just a visual wonder, it's a matrix, a convergence of natural forces that bind the universe together. The potential here is limitless. Tessa leaned back in her seat, a playful glint in her eye. So, if this is the universe's cheat sheet, where do we start flipping pages? I watched the celestial dance, feeling the pull of its mystery wrap around my soul. The orb's knowledge had led us here, to a moment where understanding and intuition could merge, revealing the delicate threads that wove reality together. As we prepared to delve into the mosaic's secrets, the Oblivion shuddered, its systems registering an anomaly, a localized distortion hidden within the glow of the cosmic dance. It was a disturbance, subtle yet persistent, suggesting an unseen influence at play. We recalibrated the sensors, focusing on the disturbance, and the readout revealed an unexpected presence, an embedded construct, a fragment of technology of unknown origin, veiled by the celestial brilliance. "Looks like we've got company," Tessa remarked, her voice tinged with intrigue. "Wonder if they're here for the same light show." Darwin's brow furrowed as he studied the anomaly. This construct, it's ancient yet sophisticated. It's as though it were designed to harness the mosaic's energy or perhaps to guard it. Our curiosity piqued, we initiated a cautious approach, allowing the Oblivion to glide silently toward the construct, its silhouette becoming more defined against the luminous backdrop. It resembled a lattice of crystalline structures, its surface etched with patterns that seemed to shift and flow like living script. We docked with care, the airlock cycling with a gentle hiss. As we boarded the construct, the atmosphere felt charged with a latent power, a hum that reverberated through every fiber of our being. Inside, the construct was a marvel of engineering and artistry, a fusion of function and form that defied conventional architecture. The walls glowed softly, casting intricate shadows that danced to the rhythm of unseen energies. We moved through the halls, guided by an instinctual pull toward the construct's heart. As we progressed, the ambient hum intensified, resonating with the celestial mosaic outside, creating a symphony that vibrated in our bones. At the center of the construct lay a chamber filled with crystalline nodes, each pulsing in synchrony with the mosaic. Within stood a solitary figure, an entity of light and shadow that turned to face us, its gaze ancient and knowing. "We are the keepers of the mosaic," it spoke, its voice echoing with a timeless wisdom. "You who carry the echoes within have ventured far to this sacred convergence." The entity's presence was both awe-inspiring and humbling, a testament to the construct's purpose as both guardian and conduit. It gestured toward the nodes, their light weaving together in an intricate dance. Here, the Keeper continued, lies the potential to understand the universe's design, to see beyond the veil and into the heart of creation. But such knowledge demands a test of resolve and purpose. I felt the weight of the Keeper's words, the truth behind its challenge. The mosaic was not merely a spectacle to behold, but a symbol of unity and balance, a reflection of our own journey and the choices we had made. Together we set our intentions, allowing our collective consciousness to merge with the Keeper's, feeling the flow of cosmic energies intertwine with our own. The nodes responded, their light forming a bridge between our understanding and the universe's secrets. The chamber pulsed with vibrant energy, and in that moment visions unfolded, a glimpse into the birth of stars, the weave of galaxies, the interconnectedness of all existence. It was a revelation, a gift, and a burden. The Keeper nodded, its form aglow with approval. You have seen the mosaic's truth. Carry this understanding with you as a beacon for those who follow. With the knowledge of the mosaic secured within us, we return to the Oblivion, our spirits alight with the promise of new horizons. The universe, vast and inexhaustible, awaited our next step. As we set our course for the next adventure, I felt a renewed sense of purpose. We were more than explorers, we were custodians of the cosmic harmony, bound to the stars and the stories they whispered. Together, we would continue to forge our path, guided by the echoes of eternity and the light of the celestial mosaic.